Yesteryear. Friends, we are on the 13th of Tevet. Naturally, we call that Yud Gimel Tevet in Hebrew calendar. Marks the Hilula of a really great rabbi. His name was Rabbi Shmuel ben Kiki, Zecher Tzadik Libracha, one of the great rabbis of Tiberias over the 1800s and early 1900s, respectively. It's actually interesting. He was born in the English year 1842 and passed away in the English year 1919. He would become a great rabbi. He would become a poet in of itself. He would become the head of the Jewish court, also respectively. Abbet, didn't we say that? In Tiberias in the south. Remember, Tiberias is one of the four holy cities of Israel, along with Tzfat, Hebron, and Jerusalem, respectively. So he would become one of the great rabbis over there. What's interesting, he was born in Morocco, in the area of Rabat in Morocco. Remember, Rabat had a very great Torah, a Jewish community in of itself, in of its day. Now, he came from great rabbinic heritage in of itself. His father's name was Rabbi David ben Kiki, happened to be the rabbi, I believe, of the congregation in Rabat, respectively, during his time period in of itself. When he was only 3 years of age, he would go on to move to Tiberias from Rabat, respectively. He would move over there and make aliyah with his family, and he would become like a songwriter, poems, let's just say, in himself. He learned very diligently. He gave great Torah sermons in of itself all throughout his life, all throughout his different years in of itself. What's interesting, afterwards, become very, very great rabbi in of itself. He would get married later on to Rabbanit Chana. She happened to be the daughter of Rabbi Yosef David Abu Lafia, another very great rabbi. We've spoken about the Abu Lafia rabbinic dynasty on various occasions inside the series. So here, I believe he happened to be a head rabbi in Tiberias. Rabbi Yosef David Abu Lafia did. So it's actually interesting. So the rabbi himself would Rabbi Shmuel ben Kiki will care for the community. He wouldn't just be the rabbi of the community, he would take care, hands-on role inside the community, and was very much had a huge integral role in the Kolel Rab Meir Bal Hanes. Also, what's interesting is he would become a Shluchei D'Rabbanan on various different occasions. I believe between the years 1893 to 1897, he'll be a Shadar, Shluchei D'Rabbanan. He will travel to various different countries. Also, between the years 1904 to 1917, this would have been just 2 years before he passed away, he would also be take on this Shadar role, Shluchei D'Rabbanan. I believe he would travel to areas including Tunisia and Libya, which had very, very great communities of yesteryear. He himself collected a huge library of Torah and Jewish books, huge library. I think a lot of it was destroyed. There was a flood at one stage in Tiberias, so a lot of it unfortunately did get destroyed at one stage in time. He was, what's interesting was, he was part of the, let's just say, the Bet Din of Rabbi Yaakov HaKohen Scali, a very, very great rabbi we've mentioned about on various occasions before. He was part very much of his Bet Din. Afterwards, I believe he would be, after he passed away, he would be appointed the head of the Jewish court, along with various other great rabbis over there in that vicinity, including Rabbi Eliyahu Yaluz and Rabbi Yosef Chai Zrichen, who happened to be a very, very great rabbi in of itself. Rabbi Yosef Chai Zrichen would later on become the chief rabbi of Tiberias, and we mentioned a video with regards to the great Chacham Rabbi Zrichen on previous occasions before. Rabbi Kiki, as we said before, was a great poet. He would write great piyutim in himself. He handwritten many of the piyutim and different songs, especially 13 principles, the songs based on the 13 Yud Gimel Ikarim. And I think that Rabbi Zrichen at a later stage will compile it, if I'm not mistaken, or publish it, because Rabbi Zrichen also had a famous library in Tiberias. Now, he passed away on 13th of Tevet in the year 1919. We're talking about 106 years ago. He was buried in the old, let's say, the old city of Tiberias, I believe. Including among his sons, he left many children. One of them was Rabbi Chaim ben Kiki, who was a very, very great. He was a secretary of the Sephardic Federation in Haifa, a very prominent position. I think he himself passed away at some point in the 1930s, interesting enough. Now, he left great Torah Jewish books also, which has to be pointed out, including the Shem David, that was one of his Torah colossal works. Then there was the Marachot Shmuel, which was a book based on halacha in of itself, a Torah book based on Jewish law, which we've spoken about on various occasions before. Then there was another great Torah work called the Shirei Kodesh and the Shirei Chol. This happened to be the handwritten book that was done, that was published later on by Rabbi Yosef Chai Yaakov Chai Zrichen, who we mentioned before, will become later on the chief rabbi of Tiberias, respectively, at a later stage. So he was really one of the great rabbis of Tiberias. Remember, it used to be that many rabbis would travel in a Shulchan Rabbanan role, especially representing Tzfat, Jerusalem, Hebron, and Tiberias. So he was very much representing Tiberias, traveling. Also, the Shulchan Rabbanan, when he'd go out to Tunisia, to Morocco, and to various different countries, one of his roles would be to strengthen those communities respectively, and give drashot, strengthen them, imbue those communities in Torah, and that's something that he very, very much did in of itself, and was one of the great rabbis of the 1800s and early 1900s, and I recommend everyone to light candles in his memory. Remember, his Hilula is here on Yud Gimel Tevet, 3 days after Asar B'Tevet. I'm actually recording this at the time it happens to be Asar B'Tevet, the fast day. I'm about to enter, at the time of recording over here, Shabbat Parshat Vayichi. So I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. Remember, friends, if you feel anyone will be interested in, let's just say, learning about more of these videos content, or subscribing to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Share the videos with other people that might be interested in the Torah, and don't forget to light candles in the great rabbi's memory. So wishing you a Shabbat Shalom.